So, Prakash, who did you vote? Trump or Kamala?
I'll never vote for Kamala
Why lah?
because I'm Malaysian.
Oh, ஆமா lah. Shock sendiri lah you all lah. I also don't know what to say now lah kan. நான் vote பண்ணிருப்பேன். விஜயனாக்கு vote பண்ணிருப்பேன். But I'm not from Tamil Nadu so. But so. Hello, this is Lepak episode 3 and once again it is me and with Prakash. So this will be again like a post-episode analysis of what happened in our last episode with Dr.Moventhiran, our bro. But to be professional in this one, we are going to call him Dr. Moventhiran. I think we mentioned him doctor in also in our lower tips and stuff. And before we can go to what Prakash has to say, I feel that I have to give shout out to Moventhiran, which is he has been very supportive in terms of the whole episode, and it's something that we didn't expect initially because we thought that to come up with the whole idea of bringing Moventhiran is actually from Nedu Maran Ilungovan, our
from one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, the episode number 4 with Nedu Maran. He actually suggested to bring Moventhiran in, and we spoke to him, and he was very open about it. And we had some obstacles along the way because he had to be at Japan, and then both of us had other commitments here and there. So in terms of that, it was a slow. I mean, I would say it's a bit of a
slight delay,
stuff like that. But in saying all that, I feel that it was one of the best episodes we've recorded. Shout out to some of our friends who have also said that it's a very good episode since it actually touches on his profession, and then also for his love on the natural language, which is Bahasa Melayu, which is something that everyone needs to learn and pick up at certain point in their lives Something he said on the recording was very, very impactful, which is people in international schools cannot speak Malay, and they are supposed to be people that actually should uphold the national language, and they can speak Malay.
Yeah.
So that is something that is very, very sad to say. And before I can go ranting or go more longer about it, what do you think about it, Prakash? What do you think about Moventhiran?
Okay, I think we know Moven for a good decade actually. Just that we were all hi-bye friends, and it was all Facebook. So it's technically that was sort of the first time I met him, talking to him, same like Nedu. Pleasantly surprised with his mastery of the Bahasa Melayu language actually. It's fantastic. It's probably his expertise in the language has surpassed, I think, all of our guests. I'm sorry, Isla. But yeah, his language is fantastic. He is fun to talk with. So what I think is that we have set a stage for him. We'll be talking about more cooler stuff with him in future. One of it we aim to talk about with him is things like Neuralink, when it has picked up steam, because he is the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
Right? We cannot talk to anyone else except for Elon Musk, which is going to be quite hard, but we welcome him. But he's the next best person because he literally operates on the brains. So yeah, this kind of thing we will be talking. We set the initial stage. And we look forward. I look forward to talking about this kind of stuff with him later on more.
Yeah, and then just for additional info, the whole surprise with Vinod was also something that we both of us thought will be nice to cover.
Yeah,
we've never done something like that where we just brought in suddenly another guest to just join the podcast episode, and also we have to thank. We have to thank Vinod for it because he generally does not have any clue as to what we were going to do on that episode. And he was very, very helpful as well. He was very supportive. He actually told us that what do I need to do? Do I need to prepare a script or anything like that? And we actually told him, you don't have to do anything. You can just come and surprise Moventhiran. And that's what he did very convincingly.
Yeah.
And I think it took Moven by surprise as well.
Yes.
And again, to just mention about what happened on the previous episode, we felt that it was a very good story to talk about because it's not like every day you can see friends, they can help each other in that form. And we think that it was, we both of us thought it was a great story that needs to be told, right? That's something that we want to appreciate as well. So thank you so much for Moventhiran and also for Vinod for being part of the last episode. We do hope that we can do more interesting kind of episodes with them like that in future. We also have ideas to combine our previous guests into one episode, which we might want to look
Which we
into,
will be doing maybe like a road episode kind of a thing also with them.
depending on their availability. So if you're watching
this is a test on the road anyway. So we are surrounded by stray cats, stray dogs, some gangsters that side. So
But I think we are looking at ways to like sorry, this noise very distracting. We are looking at ways to actually make things a bit more
fun,
rather than being in a studio. But we appreciate the studio equipment as well as always. And again, shout out to KL Podcast Studio for being a very good service provider for us. I think they have been very, very helpful for us in our podcast journey. I think there's nothing that they couldn't do. Everything they would. Pretty much whatever we throw at them, they are willing to help. And I mean, that's also something that we want to thank. ரொம்ப thanking பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் அங்கேயும் இங்கேயும். But then moving on, our next episode, just to give a little bit of a tease on our next episode, it will be with one of our friends again. This time around, we have another professional. We have something that we both feel will be also beneficial for those who are probably looking for answers in terms of, let's say, if I get caught by the police for just standing on the side of the road, what are my rights? What should I, what am I entitled to? What should I be contesting about? And the many topics we have a guest that is ready for that. And we also look forward to that guest. We think it will be interesting. Will there be any surprises in that episode? I don't know. I can't tell for now. So let's just see what we have in store for that. Then I think moving on, I think today, the 6th of November, is actually a very eventful day for the United States. But I think generally
all of us, I was refreshing Twitter to death. X.
X now, right? So what do you think about the current situation? I mean, not current situation. What happened with them?
Well, I'm actually quite happy. I mean, again, we might ruffle some feathers, but we are all Trump fanboys here. I know there are some people who are going to behave like they are distinguished people and they say, oh, Trump is that and this.
Racist.
Sit down and listen to the guy talk and then you'll understand. So, for example, I was never aware of, not to say not aware, I was aware of who's Donald Trump, but I was not very privy to who he is and all that thing back then. All I know is, he was some rich guy.
Yeah.
He's a real estate mogul. He had a reality show, The Apprentice. His catchline was "You're fired."
Yeah,
that's all I knew about him.
Yeah,
and then he caught attention only when he started bringing up the whole the Kenyan origins of Obama. Right? He sort of went hard over it, I guess. I don't know, but. That's where it caught the attention. And then when I saw the White House Correspondents event where Obama was roasting him, and even I think Musk lately said he was there and it was a bit too much. And only then Trump decided to run for president.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everyone turned around and started calling him all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Racist, blah, blah, blah. I bought into it. Initially, I bought into it also because all of us watched shit like CNN and all that kind of thing. And what happened was some of the things they were accusing him was kind of outlandish. They made him like a real mustache twirling villain, which kind of, I don't know, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I started watching his rallies for the 2016 election time. Whatever they said about, that he said this didn't happen. Everything was taken out of context. Everything was edited out of context.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as when he visited.
Oh shit!
Oh my god! It's okay, let's record.
Okay, right, yeah.
See, even when he visited Japan, he was feeding the goldfish, and then he followed Abe putting all the goldfish
Yeah.
food, the koi fish or whatever, into the pond. They just edited just him and made him look
Yeah.
like a dumbass.
Yeah.
So I realized the media was very biased, and there has to be a reason for it. I never went into the rabbit hole, but now I have. Right? So I realized that he's fine, he's okay.
Yeah.
In fact, his supporters, people kept calling them Nazis, white supremacists, and all that. When I was in New York, I went to Staten Island, which was literally Trump Island. They had life-size cutouts of Trump in every house. They're obviously voting for Trump.
Yeah.
We are walking there. Me and my wife, people there were fine. Yeah, they looked like racist white people, racist old white people, but they were very nice. So it's the media blows it up, and we have come to this lah. And still, if you listen to him talk, he's nice. He's funny. He's really funny. He knows how to do. He knows how to carry himself.
Yeah.
He's got showmanship. After all, he was, sort of in the show business and all that. It's just that, the media is biased for a reason lah.
I feel he's like a good comedian as well. I think he has good comedic timing
Yes,
as well.
his comedic timing is fantastic. And, and the problem I have with some people is when they think they are educated, they have this ego where they think that, this guy is like a redneck. I'm not going to, instead of listening to what he has to say, what the people around him have to say.
Yeah.
Kind of like people have egos without the substance. So like, I don't find a point to it. Like, yeah.
I think another thing about this, our current situation is, but yeah, நம்ம வந்து Trump பத்தி பேசும்போது blackout லாம்
Yeah, they blacked us out when we were talking about Trump.
Censorship is happening at random hours now for all that. But I think going back to Trump, me personally, I'm not a political expert. Although I enjoy reading world news and all political stuff and all that. Apologies, we had some technical difficulties. First, the government, the government.
No, government is good.
Everything is good about that. First, we had like some power outage, so we are now at another location. And then going back to what I said earlier, I think me personally, I'm not a big political expert or whatever. I think I am not one, but there are a lot of them who are, that feels that way, that they have a lot of things to say about but Trump, Kamala Harris, whatever. Granted, all of us have certain, we lean to a certain type of political ideology. But I guess for the most part, here locally, we are more enamored with whatever that is woke, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry
whatever
for saying
that's
that
trendy in the West. Yeah.
Sorry for saying that bad word. Woke, so now a lot of people get angry when we say woke.
Well, now is the time for woke to die.
So I guess here locally, we fully embrace the whole woke culture, and you can see that in terms of our mass media channels, or even you look at things that you scroll on your social media these days, right? You have all this social media platforms. I'm not platform, sorry. This what do you call that? This is the silly name for it. Portals, yeah. The social, these web portals that further, stir up the pot for all the wrong reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think those things need to be nipped in the bud a bit, lah. Or to be fair, you can have all that kind of media outlets to say whatever you want. At the same time, you have to be open with an opposing view, right? We might
they are pretty much the same as what the people are doing over there,
Correct. We might sound a bit like Kamal Hassan here while he was running for Tamil Nadu elections by being a centrist.
Centrism is the way.
Yeah. But I guess that's pretty much it. You need to be able to take some hit if you're going to throw it to someone else as well. You need to be able to absorb that as well. And something I find quite not interesting, a bit funny lately was the whole drama about Tucker Carlson lately. I remember that story about Tucker Carlson when he went on stage and he mentioned something about
the joke that was taken out of context.
Yes. So when he mentioned something about retarded or Malaysian Samoan person or whatever.
He called her like, basically he was giving her all kinds of labels, and then the Malaysian Samoan label came out, Samoan
Yeah.
Malaysian or whatever,
Yeah.
which was him referring to how she keeps changing her identity all the time.
Correct.
She keeps changing her accent all the time.
Correct.
But yeah,
Yeah. So when we look at how people here accept that kind of statement, again, they don't really look beneath the statement. They just look at the face value and they get upset over
Yeah.
it. And I think lately there was this dumbasses on this radio station that were so upset about it, and they were like, saying things like, how could he say that about us Malaysians? How could you look down at us? And one thing that really stood out from that whole conversation and made me a bit annoyed was either one of these two dumbasses that one of them just said like, by the way, she's not just Indian, she's Malayali. And then I was,
and it's funny that she doesn't identify as an Indian anymore, by the way.
yeah,
This whole election, she was identifying as black. So
Correct.
she keeps changing her identity, which is what Tucker Carlson was
Yeah,
trying to
correct,
put out.
in case, disclaimer, I'm not shitting on Malayali people. I love
Yeah, we love Malayali
we
people.
love the Kerala Kutis and all
Yes.
that. But just that, when you see people who make this kind of remarks, right, and how they take in information and they churn out absolute garbage, right? Like how Trump brings out his garbage truck. அதே மாதிரி தான் நீங்களும். Like you just don't really look at the context of things.
It's from the first episode we've been saying, from our first episode, context matters.
Yes.
And no one actually looks at that.
It's pretty disappointing to think that, like people like you who seem to be at a very high level in terms of who you are in the industry or in the, I don't know, whether the entertainment or, communication broadcasting industry or whatever. Again, we are not experts. We are not broadcast policies or whatever. We are
Soon we will be.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry for ranting out a bit, but to see people who are in that status to make silly statements like that, it's really, really pathetic. You have to look at yourself a bit and see where you are wrong also. Not to say that we are smart, but at least we can see the bullshit compared to you, right? Yeah. Sorry for being brutal.
I mean, it's quite normal. I think our mass media, those popular stations, they you need to tone down on some of them are, I don't know, I hate to say it, but some of them are extremely stupid.
And you can look at how, again, going back to that, like how most of us, we can even see that in the amongst our friends,
Yeah.
For them, conservative and liberalism is by all and end all. That's all they
it's
know.
a hard line. They cannot accept that there are people with centrist values, or even us now when we say that we like Trump fanboys, whatever. People are immediately going to call us like right wingers, Uncle Toms, all kinds of label comes out.
Then they'll say we kucha tukis also for Trump or whatever.
At our core, we are sort of liberals. Whatever that you claim we don't stand for, we do stand for. It's just that we know how to draw a line, a limit.
Yeah.
And when we draw that limit, some of them start calling us bigots and all this kind of thing. So yeah, it's utter nonsense.
What do you think about the whole broadcasting industry here? But okay, let's not talk about broadcasting as a whole. But what do you think about the web portals that you see here in Malaysia? We don't want to name names, because we don't want to be sued by them or whatever.
Excuse my French, but I fucking hate them. Okay, some of these portals, I'm not going to name them. They specifically post clickbait shit for very low IQ readers. I'm sorry, I have to say this. Some of you may enjoy reading such portals, but it is what it is. If you are stimulated by such articles, by such titles, sometimes they post like things like what Indian guy's tires puncture in the road. Malay guy helps him with the tire. Oh, this is the kind of multiculturalism, multiracialism we have never seen before. We've been living in this country for like God knows how many years. So many races has been mixing together, and these portals act like they just saw a Malay guy across the road for the first time in their life. Bullshit
Correct.
Yeah, I don't want to rant further but this is the kind of low IQ things that keeps coming out every day. And then of course all the other kind of weird things like you know, the radio stations are another one. There is a radio station
There is a
which lately the DJs were talking about France, and they put out a question: what's your favorite food? French fries or French toast? They were talking about France. Do you want to listen to people like that? Ask yourself. You
I
know?
know.
Yeah.
We might sound like one of our in between. Now we want to say something like, it might sound a bit like one of our what is the right word for this person, our cultural icon or something. But give me the radio station lah. I will prove I can do I can do a better job than you lah. I think those who know us very well will know who are we referring to.
We don't fake our accents, by the way. We sound just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like some people faking their accent.
Hello, yes, what's happening, sir? How are you, sir?
Still having a shit structure for English.
But by the way, just to mention, like, this location is a bit further from where we
It's
usually
really far.
like pretty far from where we record, and it's also just to prepare for what's coming in.
It's actually in another state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we are in another state now.
Oh yes, correct. We are in another state now. Right?
Yeah,
We are
we are up north actually. Yeah.
we're doing another thing now outside.
Yeah.
And this is also preparation for our upcoming episodes, where we feel that this one would be very interesting. We met the potential guest,
We just did, yeah.
and what he actually suggested to us tonight was quite interesting. We might want to explore that. We do not know what it may end up being like, but if we go like balls out with that, I guess we probably would see something crazy. Like
Yeah, something mad. Yeah.
yeah, and as you can see now, it's like, the timing also is like, middle of night. I think
It's
like,
all a teaser.
yeah, timing is now like
The kind of episode that's going to happen, what time it's going to happen, and where it's going to, not on the roads, lah, but
yeah. And he actually suggested a place that we didn't thought of, which is a bit more
creepy.
creepy, yeah, more creepy. And again, we want to try to do different things. One of the things in the Black Sea theory is that,
Disclaimer, it's not a ghost hunting episode.
yeah,
It's not.
but we understand a lot of you that
Have been asking us.
been asking for that kind of stuff, even back before the Black Sea theory was even conceived.
Yeah.
When we were doing like Twitter Spaces and all that, people did ask like, can you all do like
Ghost stories.
and stuff. So maybe this could play alongside with that lah, but it's not really
Not directly.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
touching with ghost stories per se, but it will play along with that lines lah. So that's something that we also are very excited to look forward to. And rather than that, we also want to look into the future. I think right now we have touched about 8 episodes.
Yeah.
The last one being with Moventhiran. And I think moving forward, we also want to look at, continuously giving more and more episodes with 1 second.
If we only can get a sponsor for that one part, take a break and then there's an ad.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice, right? People got ad lah.
Yeah.
நல்லா இருக்கும். Yeah, where was I? We're also looking into the future. We want to look into having more guests. Some of the things that we want to touch on is also, it may sound a bit pervert-ish or whatever, but I don't care. We also want to touch female guests as something that we also have been thinking about for quite some time.
We need a female guest. Feel free to volunteer.
Yeah, we also actually earmark a few potential guests.
Yeah.
Have communicated with a few of them, but we can't confirm as of yet lah. So that is something that we want to do. Not to say that we want to diversify. We want to be again. Sorry for the noise.
This is fun.
This is, I think, one of the most stupid. I mean, not stupid. Sorry, that's not the wrong word.
Yeah, it's insane.
Most wildest thing that we did.
Thought about it at the very last minute after we had the meeting. We just say, let's just record something somewhere. Found this place.
Yeah. So then going back to that, I think we also looking at amplifying more episodes in the near future. We don't want to look at this as just as a, hey, let's do a podcast and call it a day. Not like that. One of the things that we prioritize when we came up with this podcast is to be consistent. And along the way, there will be hurdles and stuff like that. But we still look at hitting a certain benchmark. So that is, I think between us, we want to say it out loud. It's not very big anyways, but we have a personal benchmark that we want to hit with this podcast. And once we hit that certain benchmark, we also want to look at what can we do next, and it all comes with all these ideas. Like sitting here in a random street now and just recording and giving our thoughts and opinions on our last episode, and just to touch on what has happened recently in terms of the U.S. general elections. And again, sorry for the interruption.
Those are trucks racing. We should cover Sepang one day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We can ask Rashidi actually.
Yeah, cover Sepang.
Rashidi, if you're watching this, let us know.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think that's also what we plan to do. Have a lot of not different, interesting, just to have episodes that are a bit more outdoors. I think one of the main targets is to have more
mobility.
Yes, being more
cover
mobile.
Everything, cover whatever we can.
Yes, and rather than just seeing the Black Sheep Theory being it will still be a podcast. We also want to look at ways maybe where we can document stuff, where we can actually make it more of a extensive kind of experience.
Twice before it became shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe we want to look into something like that. Maybe if we have the opportunities. And with our previous guests, I think we have a lot of potential with working with them.
Yeah.
So and with the existing and also our future potential guests and whatever, we can also look into that.
Tun Mahathir and Trump is still the number one in our wish list.
Yeah. One day, I think let's just put let's hope we can interview Tun one day.
Yeah.
It'll be nice though.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Maybe we can ask him, kenapa, Tun, kita tengok episode pertama kita orang tak? And that's the first thing I'll ask you. So, anyway, I think we can call a wrap for this episode for now. Thank you for giving your time and your attention for this Lepak episode. We hope to further bring you more Lepak episodes, and also together with our general TBT episodes. And as always, if you have any questions or any opinions or any anything, any feedback or whatsoever, please feel free to email us at the email below. And until the next time then, thank you so much. Good night.
Night.
It's night, right?
All right. Yeah, it's night.
Okay. Good night. Bye.